Okay, I'm 7 o'clock. Let's call this meeting to order, please. Everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Cook. Colosimo.
Present.
Pat.
Here.
Milczewski.
Here.
Readers.
Here.
Hofhauser.
Here.
Tarulis.
Here.
Teeling.
Here.
A quorum is established.
Any amendments to tonight's agenda? I know Lynn had a presentation, but you can do that under citizen comments. We'll do the public hearing first. So we'll go into public hearing for PC 2015-13, Harry Development Yorkville LLC petitioner has filed an application with the United City of Yorkville, Kendall County, Illinois, requesting to amend an existing annexation agreement for the Fountain View development to remove the land use requirements of a bank and office on the property described therein, exhibit previously approved as part of the original agreement. The real property is generally located at the northeast corner of Fountain View Drive and South Bridge Street, Illinois Route 47 in Yorkville, Illinois. So is there anyone from the public who would like to comment on this? Let's let this gentleman go first. Please state your name and sign in, please, sir.
Good evening, Mayor. Thank you. My name is Mark Daniel, D-A-N-I-E-L. I'm an attorney with Daniel Law Office in Yorkville, Illinois. I represent Harry Development, the petitioner in this instance. And we've accurately described in general what we're attempting to do with the amendment to the annexation agreement. I've reviewed the staff materials in the package. I'm not going to get into the history between 2007 and 2008, the first amendment, and the present. I think as we're all aware, there was some change in the trend of development and pace of development with the economy. Yorkville is a strong community, and in this particular instance, we're seeking an adjustment to the annexation agreement for the purpose of subdividing the larger lot along Route 47, that would be at the northeast corner of Fountain View and Bridge Street in the city. And what we're looking at is 2 lots with resulting uses that are of a better return to the city and its residents than what was the plan there previously, which was a financial institution. We're proposing on the north lot, 101, a Dunkin' Donuts. I don't want to get into too much of the detail, but you can see that it's a sit-down with a drive-through, small outdoor patio on the side towards the bike path that runs along the east side of Bridge Street. The lots share a unified central access that's right in and right out off 47, and also the access pulled in off Fountain View as originally planned. In this particular instance, the adjustments to the annexation agreement are primarily of the zoning nature, that is subject to public hearing tomorrow evening. It's going to remain a plan unit development. It will be something that the city continues to have some particular jurisdiction over from the zoning perspective. With me tonight in the back row are Lee Fry of Lee Fry Enterprises, who's been chaperoning this for Harry Development, Anthony Demaro, and Clay Schuler from AmeriCorps. AmeriCorp's been involved in this property for some time. If you have any questions about the amendments to the annexation agreement, we'd be happy to answer them, but this is a strong economic benefit for the city. The zoning adjustments are rather minor and meet the standards of the zoning ordinance, and I believe from a planning and development perspective, it meets your comprehensive plan. It fits within that envelope you created with the long-term light industrial, moderate industrial planning and ag land to the east, beef rezoning to the west, and it does not create a headache for any of the residential just beyond that beef rezoning to the west. Thank you.
Does anyone from the council have any questions for this gentleman while he's here? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public? Mr. Prochaska?
Good evening. My name is Matt Chaska, and I am here at the request of the Kendall County Board's Highway Committee. I'm here to bring a reminder that in 2007, with the original developer, the County of Kendall entered into an agreement with the County of Kendall would tear down an existing existing shed that we own on that property and transfer to the original developer 0.35 acres, more or less, in right of way. At the time, the developer agreed to pay the county potential $60,000 in return. This money was originally supposed to be paid by August 17, 2007, and so far the county of Kendall has not received any compensation. Currently, the county board has no official position on this property. We just wanted to take this moment and enter a reminder to the record.
Okay. You know anything about that, Bart?
Yeah, that's something the developer had talked about with us as part of their annexation agreement amendment and incentive agreement that we're still doing.
Okay. Any other comments from the public? Hearing none, we'll close public hearing. Thank you. Moving on, citizen comments. That's our citizen comments on agenda items, but I would like to make an exception. Lynn has a presentation on Push for the Path that she'd like to bring forward, so if there's no objections, I'd like to recognize Lynn.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to take a few minutes to give you an update on Push for the Path. At this time, Push for the Path has raised, that is profit. So we've raised more than this, but this is after all expenses have been paid. $176,756.28. So we're nearly halfway there to our goal of $357,000, and that is in a 3-year period. We have written checks to the city for nearly $50,000, $49,357.59. We actually have a credit balance with the city for what we billed for and what we've been reimbursed for in the grant. So we're a little bit, and that's great. We're getting ready for our big event this year. It's going to be our golf outing, which is an event that I can say will certainly take us over the $200,000 number. And it's going to be on September the 26th, which is a Saturday, at Blackberry Oaks Golf Course in Bristol. And we are looking for golfers. It's $115 per golfer or $460 for a team. And we also have tickets for dinner only at $30 each. We have whole sponsors, event sponsors. This is our one big event that we've really been putting all of our effort into. And I'm really confident this year is going to be a great year, and we'll get us over that $200,000 number. And so we're moving ahead very nicely and exactly where we thought we would be at this point. So I just wanted to give everyone an update on that. And I do have flyers on the golf outing here that I could leave perhaps with Bart, and then if anybody would like to take one, we would certainly like to see everybody there and support. So we're still very committed to seeing this go forward and very excited that we've been able to accomplish what we've been able to accomplish so far. Does anybody have any questions?
Chris?
I have one real quick. Obviously, you guys have done several events and a couple different fundraisers. Is there a strategic plan that you have for raising the rest of the money, the other balance? Do you have something outlined that says how you intend to do that?
No, we had our strategic plan kind of came at the beginning when we were talking about the Power of One teams to raise that first $100,000 to really get us going. Basically, we've been just trying to do events. So the golf outing is our #1 fundraiser. So that's what we're committed to.
Anyone else? Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have any other citizen comments on anything that's on the agenda this evening? Okay, we have no consent agenda, no minutes. Moving on to mayor's report. I'll entertain a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreement between the city and the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police and Labor Council Yorkville Patrolman Unit with the revised section 12.2 that was presented to the city council at meeting and authorized the mayor and city clerk and chief of police to execute.
So moved.
Comments or questions on the collective bargaining agreement? Roll call, please.
Lance, please. So moved and seconded.
So moved.
Colosimo,
Aye.
Funkasser,
Aye.
Wojciechowski,
Aye.
Teeling. Pat,
Aye.
Ritter,
Aye.
Surless.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, that's what it says, agreement is a 5-year agreement, and once again, done without lawyers, which, makes the whole process that much easier. Sorry, Carol. Okay,
Nobody loves us until they need us.
that's right. I'll entertain a motion to authorize staff to issue a request for proposals for a new tandem axle dump truck with snowplow and brine spreading equipment.
Second.
That'd be Joel and Jackie. Comments or questions on the dump truck? I know we're trading in a couple of older dump trucks.
Is that where the difference is coming in between the budgeted amount of 150 and the expected 160, 170?
Yeah,
So there'll be some trade-ins and that'll make up the difference?
yes. We're not sure how much, but it is.
Just one trade-in or multiple trade-ins? So we're trading in two, but we're getting one
2 unreliable old trucks for 1 new.
reliable new truck. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Can you explain to me the aluminum thing again? Why we're going with aluminum for 15 years as opposed to the other one for 7?
Yeah, we're expecting aluminum cab, tanks, wheels, because it lasts longer, it doesn't rust like metal. So we used to have a 7-year trade-in program, now we're running anywhere from 10 to these are 15 years old. So if we're in it for the long haul, we want to get something that's going to last.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Funkasser,
Aye.
Wojciechowski,
Aye.
Teeling. Aye. Pat,
Aye.
Ritter,
Aye.
Surless,
Aye.
Colosimo.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next, I'll entertain a motion to reject all bids received for the Public Works storage shed.
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions on this? Yes, sir?
Where are you going to park the new truck if we don't get a new building?
This is just for salt storage. We're going to park it in the regular garage.
Better.
Roll call, please.
Wojciechowski,
Aye.
Teeling. Pat,
Aye.
Ritter,
Aye.
Surless,
Aye.
Colosimo,
Aye.
Funkasser.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, moving on to Public Works Committee report, I will turn it over to Alderman Funkhauser.
All right. We have a motion to approve ordinance authorizing the subordination of surface rights for public road purposes, Route 71 Van Emmon, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute.
Second.
Comments or questions?
Thank you for checking into that.
Roll call, please.
Teeling. Pat,
Aye.
Ritter,
Aye.
Surless,
Aye.
Colosimo,
Aye.
Funkasser,
Aye.
Wojciechowski.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next, we have a motion to authorize staff to call the cash deposit in the amount of $174,016 for work to be completed in the Blackberry Woods subdivision.
Second.
Comments or questions?
We are recommending this be tabled for 2 weeks. The staff did meet with the developer's attorney this afternoon. They committed to move forward immediately on more than half, basically, of the punch list. There was some question about some remaining items that we're still willing to negotiate or to discuss with them. So we should have a substantial update for you in 2 weeks, and then if they haven't presented something that we feel is acceptable, then we would recommend calling the cash bond for that time.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that the same thing they said last time? They said they would have things to us and information and proposals, and we didn't hear anything?
Yes, they had indicated that they would have some sort of commitment to us by, it would have been July 30th, before the EDC meeting. And then
When did they contact us? When did the attorney contact us?
They had been in contact with us at that time, it's just the contact was, hey, we'll have something for you in a couple days. And so today they did indicate that they are ready to move forward on more than half of the punch list. It's just, they have some questions about the remaining parts of it, and so the staff is willing basically to make sure that everything was on all fours, with not only the cash bond, because it is a unique security instrument, but also with their proposal for the actual completion of the
Yes, sir.
I'm okay tabling this for the 2 weeks. If we don't have action on this from the developer within the 2 weeks, I'll strongly be in favor of actually pulling the cash bond, the cash deposit for this one. We've had this back and forth a little bit, but I'd like to see them do this on their own, but if they're not going to, absolutely, we need to stop tabling this and stop putting it off and actually do it.
Anyone else? Anyone want to make a motion to table for 2 weeks?
Motion to table for 2 weeks.
Is there a second? Okay, roll call. Alderman Cott.
Cut,
Aye.
Frieders,
Aye.
Timmerman,
Aye.
Colosimo,
Aye.
Funkelsler,
Aye.
Krasinski,
Aye.
Teeling. Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, no other committee reports, nothing from Park Board, Plan Commissioner, ZBA, no City Council report, City Clerk's report, and Community and Liaison reports. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I attended my first YBSD meeting yesterday.
How'd you enjoy that?
It was interesting, it was long. I didn't know you could talk 3 hours about the sanitary district, but two things that were discussed, well, three things. We had a nice presentation from EI about our lining, and they're going to look over the information that they were presented. Another thing that came up was the Fox Lawn subdivision, which is in the county, has asked them if there's a possibility if they could use the sanitary sewers in that area, which are ours, because of the radium in their well water. It has something to do with the flushing of the well. So that may be coming forward to us, they would have to approach us because it's our infrastructure. So they're looking at different options that subdivision, because I guess the radium is, they've been putting it off, and they've got to do something about it now.
And I'm sure they're willing to incorporate into the city.
I didn't say that, I thought that. And then the big discussion was that Kevin Coleman is put in for retirement a year from September. There's nobody else in their group or employee-wise that is promotable into his position, that has the experience and the expertise. So they're doing some fact-finding as to what should they do with him retiring. Should they go out and look for somebody new? They're talking about their plant expansion, et cetera, but one of the things that they're doing some long-range planning is that they've been in discussion with Fox Metro, nothing serious, they're testing the waters to merge with Fox Metro. So right now, their next proposal they discussed is they're doing a rate study, which I brought up to staff that they need some more information. I guess Judy has been helping them, Judy in our water department, to look at the usage. So they need like information of, what an address and what the usage is to realign the one set fee rate. Because it may be like an elderly person that hardly uses any water is paying the same as someone with 10 people in their house. So that's where they're at right now. So they just are going to kind of reach out to the city for some information to help them put those numbers together. So, and then they just went into another discussion with some of their employees about how that affects them, and they got off on tangents. So those are the two things that affected the city the most.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
I attended the meeting with Jackie for the first part of it, and then I had to run to the school board meeting. During school board, there were two things I was going to bring up. One, just kind of general information, the bus routes that the school typically publishes in the paper will not be published this year, so it's all going to be online. So that's gonna, if you're looking for that, you want your kids to know where to go, it's online. The other that does apply directly to us is they had their discussion on user fees. They brought back their report of what their cost per square foot is for the different areas that they have. They had a meeting with some of the stakeholders Monday, and most of them bought into what those fees are. The numbers from the school board's perspective were really, really high. There was some dissent from the school board versus staff. They were not pleased with what the rates were, the categories, so there's a lot of ongoing discussion about what that rate should be, what they should be charging for rental uses. And one thing I want to bring up here is I know we were going to look into our rates, how much does it cost us to provide services to the school for football games or anything? And I wanted to just bring that up, that I'd like to get an update on where that is. Have we looked into it? Have we finished it? So as the school board's going through theirs, so we can weigh our costs with their costs and see where we are.
Yeah, I mean, we had done the backhand calculations a few months ago, that I think we pegged it, close to $200,000 annually. And then there was all the recommendations from the city council and other things that we do for the school district. And, the school district, the superintendent and the assistant superintendent had met with Tim and I a few weeks ago and presented a figure that, with the fair market value of all the rentals that we have, I think their cost estimate was that we were using somewhere north of like $300,000. So, rather than get into an analytics match over, who includes what and how much of my salary is spent negotiating, school board district agreements and all these other things, I was hoping basically to put together a side-by-side of what we had originally drafted and approved at city council almost a year ago now, what the school board staff, school district staff has actually proposed, and then bring it forward to a committee and just say, rather than maybe each of us justifying to the end of the 3 days $250,000, it's in the same ballpark, and it's a lot cleaner and easier for both of us if we just administer this thing, how we used to. So, but that's going to take. Tim's going to be out here for a week. It's going to take a couple more weeks basically to get done.
And on that, the school board sent staff back to do some more calculations. This was actually a revised number. They originally had their bond payments in the numbers that you had been given.
Yes.
They've since removed that, but due to the discussion, they're going to simplify it and try to work out some others. So it's still ongoing.
I'm glad that the school board brought that, Mr. Rutland, one of those original projections. I mean, I don't know, why nickel and dime each other? I mean, they have taxpayer-funded buildings that the city uses. We have taxpayer-funded police that we're happy for them to use. I mean,
And that's part of what came up is,
if I start throwing park salary and chief salary into them using our police and football games, I can come up with $750,000 here. I don't know, it's just.
and that's where the board was along those lines of, it doesn't make sense. The buildings would be there regardless
Right.
of if these users were coming in, so.
Work together, serve the taxpayer, and become whatever.
Right.
I'm glad the board kind of sees it that way, it sounds like. Anything else? Yes, sir.
As most of you know, I live in Whispering Meadows, which is in Yorkville, Illinois.
You will tell me though?
Is that the subdivision with no streets?
That is the subdivision with no streets. I want to introduce you to Reggie. This is Reggie. He's a 9-year-old pothole. He's been filmed about 43 times. And what's really weird is that Reggie's been popping up all over the city. There's one right there! Look by your foot. There's a pothole right by your foot. I'm not kidding. There's also one over there. They've been popping up everywhere. And we had a recent rainstorm, and when it rains, you can't see Reggie. So I got 2 awesome phone calls this morning. One from myself that's basically saying when the rain goes away, really strange things are popping up. Somebody's turkey dinner showed up in a freaking pothole in Whispering Meadows. LeBron James's head showed up in a pothole in Whispering Meadows. Jay Cutler lives in a freaking pothole in Whispering Meadows. And my neighbors and myself, I picked it in front of my old man's house and he didn't care because he was holding a ticket sign. Please Someone, anyone, everyone, please finish my roads. Love, Dad. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any other community liaison reports? Hearing none, where are we at? Any staff reports?
No reports.
Additional business? No executive session? Do we have any citizen comments? Or anything that may be on your mind? Hearing none,